put, okay, alright, might be getting somewhere. Alright, sorry, not the normal setup, guys, on vacation, but obviously Bitcoin's going crazy, so wanted to give a quick update. I'm just going to go through some of the crypto assets I have here on my watch list and pretty much just show you the trend lines that I have set, and then we know once the asset breaks the trend line, it usually comes back down to retest that trend line. So we want to get our entries on the retest. So again, once the asset breaks the trend line, like this blue trend line I have here, it goes up, see it broke it, it came back down, and it came back down right here for the retest. More specifically, this little spot right here, and then it went continue back up. So we're going to look for places that could possibly be a retest and the entry zone for either way, whether you're holding long term if you think that the bull market is back and we're going to continue up, or if you're doing more of like a intraday trading, this would be a better place to get an entry as well. Or if you don't know, anything about either one of those things, at least now you can learn how to set a trend line, and then you can look for your entries, and then, no matter your strategy, whether you're short term, long term, buy and hold, or whatever the case may be. All right. I don't have my mouse, so it's a little annoying. I don't have my mouse. I'm using the trackpad here, so forgive me if things don't go as smoothly. All right, we'll start with link. Actually, we'll do a percent change and see what's the highest up. So on my watch list, Rune right now is the biggest increase here from 5 p.m. yesterday. Today is 10:25 a.m. Pacific Standard Time where I'm at. Rune's up 23% since 5 p.m. yesterday. And we're going to look at these trend lines here. I really underestimate not having a mouse using this trackpad. It's crazy. Alright, zoom in here. Again, this is Rune. They just had two different hacking attacks. So not a lot of great news coming out about Rune. But the good thing about Rune is it's a super solid fundamental project. So that's a good thing. Alright, we see that it broke this trend line here on the daily. This daily candle broke the trend line. We can see right here, we've tested it previously. We tested the trend line previously, we didn't break it, and now we have broken it. So what we're looking for on this is if we go up to this area, or the 200-day EMA, exponential moving average, would be $7.14. So we want to find out if the move is going to continue upwards. And if it did, that would be 101% increase if it can get back up to that moving average. Rune hasn't been again doing so well because of that hack, and then obviously it's also been falling because of Bitcoin. It looks like maybe it did find a bottom right here. As you can see, a bunch of the candlesticks are sitting right there. 343. So we're going to go to a 4-hour time frame. Check the trend line on the 4-hour. Remember, we just drew that line that showed all these candles sitting here. This shows the candle that broke out. So we would want to get an entry. Let me zoom in. We would want to get an entry about right here. Anywhere inside of that box. Because what we're expecting to happen is for Rune to come back down, retest this trend line, and then bounce back up. Alright, so we'll put the entry for Rune. 1 second. Alright, see what candle closes at 5 o'clock. That would be this one. So anywhere from $3.48 to $3.60. So to be conservative, call it in the middle, $3.50. Oh wow. Again, I don't have a mouse, I'm using a trackpad. So $3.50 is where I would look to enter on Rune, and that would put us at an entry like right around here. Right around that X. Alright. Next one we'll do is link. Boom, we go out. First go to the daily candle. And you can see Link just had a huge break to the upside on the daily candle. This is a upper trend line, but on a lower set of like time frames. It touches all the peaks, and then it broke out. So now we go down to a 4-hour. You see the candle that it broke out the trend line on. Alright, that was this candle here, 5 o'clock yesterday. Zoom in. We see that it broke out the trend line and it broke above its 200-day EMA. So we want the retest to either be at the moving average or the retest to be here. And that would put us at 1675. 16, 7, 5. Boom. Easy enough. Now again, this is all based on, Bitcoin continuing up. This is based on the fact that we found a bottom already and that we're not going to go back below the bottom. And when we get to Bitcoin, I'll pull that up. All right, the next one, Matic. So same thing. Let's go ahead and draw a trend line. Oh, there it is. Took a second to pop up. These are my entries earlier for a trade I did with Matic. Get rid of those. Again, first let's look at the daily. The daily, we can see we broke the trend line down here. And then we go down to the 4-hour. See, we broke the trend line back here. Then we continue moving up. We haven't retested this trend line yet. So the first entry would be right here. When it comes back down, it takes the 200-day EMA. Or if it doesn't hold the EMA, then on the next entry would be right here, which would put us at, what's that, 82 to 99 cents. So if you're super bullish and you can't wait to buy it and you just want to have it so badly, then your entry would be 99 cents. And if you're more patient and you're like, let's see what happens, because I don't think that I don't think Bitcoin's actually found its bottom, then your entry would be 82 cents. So 99, 82. 99 here, 82 here. Again, the reason why, it's going to come up and then we're going to expect a pullback down to the EMA or down to the trend line. So super simple, guys. Everyone can do this and follow along and do it yourself. I'm showing you, that you can do that. All right, so now we're on Bitcoin. Same thing. Our Fibonacci retracement for this very short trend would be to 35K. So I'm not saying that that's not impossible. So let's say the first one we fall back down to 35K, but ultimately we're looking for a retest of the 200-day EMA right here, which would be, let's call it 34. $34K. And the trend line would be here, which would put us at either 32 or this was the bottom that I was talking about when we said it looks like we found the bottom. Go to a daily chart really quick. Let me take all these drawings off. Then go to a daily chart. You can see on the daily we've just been pumping. Oops. On the daily we've just been pumping up. We're going to remove this. So that's 37K. We just passed for the 200-day EMA, and the retest would be down here at 32. As long as we don't break this bottom right here, 29, then we should be able to continue to the upside. So as long as this holds, then we should be able to continue to the upside. We should get a pullback at some point. And again, I don't suggest going strongly off of this, what I'm drawing right here. This is just for an example. Get us down to 33. And I would have my entry set like here. Again, if you missed it and you're like, oh man, I'm waiting for a pullback, these are some areas you can put in orders to try to get your pullback. So I would say anywhere from 34 down to 32. So maybe put, $100 at 34, $100 at 33, $100 at 32. Because you're going to want to catch this pullback when it comes back down, and hopefully it bounces and goes back up. But another scenario is that it comes and we only get a small pullback to this EMA, and then we just go back up from there. So something to be aware of. Pretty simple stuff. Let's keep going. ADA, Cardano. All right, boom. Cardano sat so strong on the $1.04 um, support line. Then it broke up through this trend line, and now it's continuing to make its move up. The pullback would be to 117, and it's right next to its 200-day EMA. So maybe you can get it at 110, 110 to 117, 110, 117. All right, boom. Kusama. I'm only going to do the ones that are here on this list. So Kusama is interesting. It's a really great fundamental project. I'll zoom in here on the trend lines. All right, so it came down. It hit the 153, then it bounced. And right here, it's bouncing off this trend line currently as we speak. And if we look at the 4-hour, pull this over, pull this up. Again, you can see right here, bounce off this trend line. Now, because it's underneath the 200-day EMA, remember that's going to act as resistance at first. So we want to see what happens if it gets rejected at that resistance. And if it does get rejected there, then we're going to have our first entry here at 185, and our next entry down here at 166. 185, 185 through 166. Cool. Ethereum, fan favorite, great project. Obviously, most people know that one. Ethereum here, we have the 200-day EMA at 2100. Oh, sorry, we're on the 4-hour. Let me switch to the daily really quick. So Ethereum, we're hoping that these were the bottoms, or you can call it a double bottom, whatever. So we're going to get that push up, and then we want to come back down and test this 200-day as well as this purple trend line, and that would put us at 1941. $19.41 is the pullback we're looking for on Ethereum. Not to confuse with 1942. I'm on vacation, but we're doing work. Zcash, one of my favorite projects because of the security within it. Broke this lower trend line here, and it's meeting resistance right now at 107, and we're going to see if it pumps up to 137, 140. But either way, I would try to catch my entry down here around $88, $85. Honestly, it's not a terrible entry right now, but the best entry would be like 84. But again, I think there's room to run for it right now up to 140. Theta already pumped up huge, but you can see right here it's getting rejected at this upper 200-day EMA. It's getting rejected right now at the 640 level. And we need a pullback for Theta. I really like Theta. I think it's a strong project. It found its bottom down here at 350. Broke this trend line here. Kind of hard to say where would be the best entry, right? Because for ones like this, you know, you missed the first entry, which was, I had actually a bid already set on it, which is this orange dash that you see going across the screen. I had a bid set at 440. It had missed it. You can see this wick came down. This orange line was my bid. The wick came down and came down to 450, and mine was set at 440, which, you know, that sucks, but it's not the worst thing in the world that could happen because this whole move happened, which I was expecting. And now we're hoping to get this pullback and break this upper trend line up here. Now the cool thing is that if we do break it and it goes up, again, we're going to get a pullback, right? So it'll go up, it'll break it, and then after it keeps going up, eventually it'll come back down and test this trend line. So it sounds weird to say right now, but a good entry would be like 680. And that's, again, assuming Bitcoin is still going in the bullish momentum, and that's assuming that Theta does break out. You know, you don't want to buy it right now. You don't want to long it into resistance, right? What that means is this is acting as resistance all right here. All this is resistance. Resistance meaning it's hard to break through it. So you don't want to say that it's going to break through it when you have a hard, ceiling to break through. You want to let it break through it, and after it breaks through, when it comes back down for the retest, that's when you buy it. So that's how I would play this one. Because if nothing else, it could get rejected, and then your entry would be all the way back down here at $4 or 463. So, 463 would be my entry, and if it does break above this, then you wait for the retest to come back down, and you make your entry about like 660, 680. Keep an eye on the total 2 and the Bitcoin dominance. I spoke about these before, so you should know what's up with them, but Bitcoin dominance in specifically, because from this chart I drew a while back. I haven't really updated. I've just been going off everything I've drew from a while back. It's just now for the first time breaking out of this upper trend line, this green candle right here. So for the first time in a while, it's breaking out of that since at least May. So something to keep an eye on. Again, if Bitcoin's dominance moves faster, then that means if Bitcoin's dominance moves up quickly, that means the altcoins won't move up as quickly. There's one more SC Silicon. I like this one. Actually still has meat on the bone for a possible move, but it is a newer coin, so there's not as much data for you to go off of. So I'm kind of sitting out on the sidelines for it right now. But let me know in the comments. Let me know what's up. If you have any questions, just hit me up and we'll go over some more. All right. That was just a quick update. The last thing I'll mention is obviously this bull run is being fueled by something, and I think it's the incorporation of Amazon starting to accept Bitcoin. A few big takeaways from that is there won't be any chargebacks if they start accepting crypto, and if you're a business and chargebacks hurt your business, and the percentage fee to, the credit cards that charge you, they charge you like 3% or whatever to use their Visa, MasterCard, to use their service. Bitcoin obviously wouldn't charge anything. It's open source, so something to keep an eye update on. I update. I don't know. I'm going back to the beach. I'll holla at you.